So you're at a cabin far off into the woods. Now in this cabin is a private, invite-only casino. Now there are all kind of games being played in this private casino, but the main game was cards. All kind of card games. In fact, there were tournaments, and you had the opportunity to sit at any table that you wanted, but you chose not to play. You were only there to observe. Now, as you're looking around, you see all kind of tricks of the hand, you see loaded dice, you see a bunch of cheating and a lot of things that were disturbing. After a while of being in there, the cigar smoke began to get to you, and you decided you needed to step out onto the front porch to get some fresh air. Now, you step out onto the front porch, you take in a deep breath. It's an entirely new atmosphere. It's calm and it's peaceful. Suddenly, off in the forest, you saw these big black trucks making their way towards this cabin. They didn't have on any headlights, so to you it automatically rang off an alarm. Now as they're getting closer and closer, you're looking for a way to escape, and the only place to go was straight in their direction. Now they pulled up and they all began to jump out of the car. About 25 men, all dressed in black. Now when they jumped out of the car, they put on their ski masks and they all grabbed these huge guns. Now at this time you had a choice. You could either turn back and try to warn all of the people in the house, or you can make your escape. And literally you knew that if you went back to try to tell them, they wouldn't even believe you until it was too late. So you decided to make a run for it. You leaped off of the porch and you began to run in the only direction that you could, which was towards the attackers. Now as you're running, you're praying, you're like, God, please protect me, please protect me. And all of a sudden you glitched. But you kept running. Please protect me, and you glitched again. Suddenly, the attackers raised their guns and they began to make their way towards the cabin. They all started running right past you. That's when you looked down at your body and you realized you were invisible. They ran straight past you because they couldn't even see you. So you kept running. You ran into the forest. Now there's about a mile stretch before you make it to any road, but you're in the forest. You're alone, but at least you're safe. And that's when suddenly, that's all you heard behind you. And you knew that everybody who was in that house had just been destroyed. All right, guys, so we are going to be jumping into a lot of the different hidden messages about this dream. Now, a lot of you guys, you may, indirectly know people or be around people or environments that are about to get taken down, okay? A lot of things are, I guess, being judged, and there are going to be maybe people who you wouldn't even expect to be, taken or for things to be happening to them, but these things are going to happen. Now, it's not about you, warning these people. It's not about you trying to save everybody. It's about you doing what you have to do, because what's coming is not necessarily meant for you, but you can be hurt by it if it's, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, okay? So we're going to be jumping into these messages. We're going to start here on YouTube. I'm going to be talking to you about two things that are very important, at the start of the dream. Two things that I need to break down to you. So I'm going to be starting with these blue notes. Then we're taking it over to the Patreon. I have 5 more messages that I need to be breaking down. We need to talk about you being invisible. What does that mean? That actually means something. I'm going to break that down. The power of your prayers, like when you started glitching and stuff, like what is really happening and going on. We have to talk about those huge black trucks, okay? Those are separate from the attackers. So on one message, we're going to be talking about the trucks. The other one, we're going to be talking about the attackers who got out of the truck. And then we're going to be talking about you in the forest. What does that mean? You were in the house, then you were on the porch, then you were in the forest, okay? You were in 3 different locations in this dream, aside from the fact that you had to go through the enemies, okay? So we're going to be breaking all that down on Patreon. So make sure you click the link in the description box and choose at least the Dream Juice tier in order to get the extended for these messages, okay? Now, right here on YouTube, I'm going to be breaking down two different things. So as you can see on the screen, there are two numbers. I want you to choose the one you feel most drawn to. And of course, you can listen to both of them, but the one you choose just may be a little bit more highlighted in your life at this time. So without further ado, let's get to these messages. All right, so if you chose number one, we are starting on the interior, okay? We're going to be starting inside the house. So we're going to be talking about the people in the house and what was going on. First of all, everybody was playing cards, but like I told you, there was a lot of dealings, a lot of cheating, people taking chances, people taking risks, okay? There was a lot of quick hand, and there was people who were shooting loaded dice, okay, by any means necessary. These were cheaters, these were competitors, all right? These could be friends in your life, enemies, co-workers, your family. These can be haters or people you are just in close proximity to. Like I was telling you at the beginning, these may not even be people who you're like directly connected with, but again, wrong place, wrong time, wrong results, all right? Now, let me tell you about these people though, okay? In this private casino, in this land far off, you know, in the woods, people who have done others wrong, okay? Now, when you think about, you know, these casinos far off, I think that's like illegal or something like that. So, yeah, they're participating in things that they cannot do in the open, okay? So people who have done other people's wrong, these are enemies of enemies. I know in one of these videos I just told y'all it's getting quiet in Haterville. It's getting quiet in enemy land. Why? Because the enemies have enemies. Okay, it's like they want to pick on you to take away from their own problems or to help them escape their own problems. Meanwhile, they have to turn around and go back to those problems. So your enemies have enemies, and those enemies are fed up. Okay, so that could be physically, mentally, spiritually, however that applies. Okay, so again, these are enemies of enemies. Some of y'all wondering why your enemies are so quiet right now. They're getting ready to be attacked. Some of them can feel it, some of them know it, and some of them have no clue at all. All right, now a lot of these people who were in this house, cabin / casino, they are targets of someone else. So y'all sitting here worried about what somebody doing to you, or they over there casting spells on me, and they over there doing this to me and doing that to me. They lying on my name, they spread rumors. Something or someone is looking at them. So while they busy attacking you, somebody is planning to attack them. Okay, so either they're messing with you now and they're about to shut up, or they quiet now and this is why. All right, you got some people around you. Again, these could be people you love. You know, people who you're dealing with on a daily basis. But some of y'all need to know, I'm opening it up. Some of them are being watched. Some of them are being investigated. Some of them are being stalked. Okay? Some of y'all, for some of y'all, this is somebody maybe you just met somebody and y'all cool and you have no idea this person is watching them and now they're watching you too. Now you're on the pictures and the photos, you know. Even like private investigating, let's say from a spouse, like a husband or wife, is suspecting that their husband is cheating, and he is with some other chick, but he just so happened to met you in that same week. So now you're on the pictures, and now you're being investigated. You see what I'm saying? Something like that. Next thing you know, cheaters is coming out, and you're on camera. You know, somebody's being spied on. Okay. Now, everything that they built or won in this casino is about to be destroyed. Okay, because a lot of, again, what they built was built on faulty foundations. It was not real. Some people have done very scamish things, and it's going to all come folding down. And everything that they built, think about that casino. Everything, every dollar that they won, you're not going home and spend it. You're not going to even be able to enjoy it because you're going to get blowed up before you even leave the door. You see what I'm saying? So for some of you guys, your enemies are they're going down. And everything that you saw that they have built, you're going to see just how shakeable that foundation was, okay? So be aware of the people you are around, all right? Let's get to the next one. Aha, we will not go on to the next one. Surprise, I have a little bit of a bonus if you chose number one. Now, I just recently got into this new show, Blacklist. Actually, this show been on forever. Blacklist. It has 7 seasons, so I'm so lucky. But I'm on season 3 on Netflix. Now, as I was getting my notes prepared, as I was writing these out, I had it on in the background, you know, just something to, you know, entertain in the background while I'm writing my notes. And I so happened to look up as they're pulling a bullet out of this window frame. And it says Psalms 1 and 1. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, let me just look it up and see if it has anything to do with what I'm writing about right now, this dream. Keep this. Psalms 1 and 1. Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company. That's the key. Sit in the company of mockers. When you were in the dream, you never sat down. You only observed, which means y'all want to be blessed because you never partook in that, whatever it was that was so evil and so bad that caused for, these black trucks to have to roll up and destroy everything. Whatever it was that was going on, you were around it, but you weren't sitting in it. Therefore, this is why you had a means of escape, okay? So I just had to throw that in there. Look it up if you want to. But now let's officially go to the next one. All right, if you chose number 2, we're going to be talking about that moment when you had to step out for some fresh air, okay? You felt suffocated. Now, for some of you guys, this could be what you're going through. You're in a work environment where you feel suffocated. You're around people who are constantly low vibrational all the time, and it makes you feel weary and tired, okay? Some of y'all could be spiritually suffocating. Now, in that moment, you felt like you needed to separate yourself. You needed a change of pace. You needed a different scenery, okay? Some of y'all need a soul cleanse, or you need, to be around a new group of people, or just away from people in general, okay? You're called away, this is for a lot of you guys, from certain people and certain environments. You may have been feeling it. You may have been knowing that you need to do this, but this is what's happening, okay? Now, the thing that's interesting to note is that when you stepped outside, you were able to see things from a different perspective. You were able to see things that all the people who were gathered together weren't able to see. The people in the house were distracted. They were preoccupied. But when you stepped away from that, you were able to see the danger that was coming, okay? And you were in an environment where you were able to receive and perceive, whatever, however you say it, the danger. Because again, if you would have ran inside and told all those people, hey, look, these people outside, they pulling up in black trucks, they got these big guns, they were preoccupied. They would be like, yeah, right, no, whatever. And then by the time you told everybody, it'd been too late. So they were not in an environment to receive or perceive the danger. But because you took yourself from the interior environment to the external environment, you were blessed with a different perspective. Okay, you were able to see something they were not able to see. Now, some of y'all have been called away from different environments, and y'all have been gone for a while. You thought it was for a moment or for a season, but you didn't know it was going to be for a lifetime. For some of y'all, for some of these things and environments that you've been called to step away from, like for example, you moved to another state, you're going to be gone. Sayonara, okay? Because wherever you're supposed to be blessed is in another land. That's for somebody, okay? Now, again, the inside is full of distractions. It's loud, it's competitive, it's fast-paced. But the outside is peaceful, it's calm, it's slower pace. So when you removed yourself, you were able to see. Now, this is the thing. A lot of times we try to take people with us, and we end up missing our own blessing that was meant personally just for us, because we tried to include someone else. You being on that porch and having that moment to see the danger coming, that was your blessing, okay? And we're going to get a little bit deeper in Patreon, but you need to know that your escape is your escape. It's not an escape route for everybody to get through. So, because somebody out there feels guilty, you're about to make a change or make a move that doesn't include people that you usually include. You're about to start a business and you're not going to even tell them, even though they might be in your face all the time. Some of y'all getting ready to leave a job that you have coworkers. You can't tell them, I'm getting ready to quit. I'm starting my own business. You can't tell them. Okay? But you have to do what you have to do in order to be where you need to be. Now, go back and tell everybody, or run for your life. And I don't mean to make it that deep, but when it comes to destiny and life purpose and generational wealth and leaving a legacy, y'all already know how it is. You got to make the tough choices, the choices that everybody's not going to make. If you'd have ran back in the house, nobody would have ran away with you. If you're the only one who going to go, then go, okay? And I think that's a clue for somebody. You're waiting on other people to get excited and ready to make these moves like you, but they're not. They're going to sit still. And whatever is coming for them is going to come. So make sure you get to where you need to be. Let's wrap it up. Talk about what we're going to Patreon to talk about. And then, you know, I'll see y'all on the other side. All right, y'all. So we talked about the people in the house or the people around the environment. And then we talked about you on the porch having that moment to decide, do I go and try to save everybody or do I run for my life? Okay. So we are going to be continuing this over on the Patreon. We need to be talking about that black truck, because it's two separate things that you need to know. It's the black trucks, but then it's the attackers. Those are two different messages. All right. We need to talk about you in the forest, the power of your prayers, and then we need to talk about you being invisible. What does that mean? There are deeper and more meaningful messages in the invisible and forest. I really like the messages that came through with these two. So make sure you click the link in the description box. Head on over to Patreon, choose at least the Dream Juice tier, and I will see you over there. And if this is where it ends for you, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.